Everything Mental Health with your hosts, Chris Weeks and Maureen Edwards.
So I was just thinking to add on, there's another form of communication, emotional communication, where maybe one person is sending their emotional response or their emotional content to another person. Sometimes they want to do that. They want to make the person know how they're feeling. And sometimes it's like an overkill, right? It might be like an anger outburst. It might be getting all worked up. It might be a miscommunication, which is perceived, which has caused an emotional response that's not even related to what was said.
Totally, yes. I've seen that. Someone is communicating something that they feel is important to the other person, and gets very emotional and worked up, and it almost appears as if the person is being even kind of aggressive. The voice is raised, and they seem they're very passionate about the thing, but it comes across as almost domineering.
Right.
And immediately the receiver, you can see the body language with the receiver almost wanting to back away, maybe, or you can see the distress that is starting to form on the face,
or a shutdown,
or even a shutdown, and that can speak to, in both situations, it can speak to the trauma that each is carrying, and certain indicators of, or certain reminders even of that trauma can ignite the trauma in the other person. And so now the communication, the information that is attempted to be communicated gets lost in the emotional circumstance that's rising up. So the thoughts of the receiver, for example, might not even be close to what the communicator is trying to get across.
Right.
And now we're both are operating in this realm of feelings and emotion, and so the issue is getting lost within this kind of swirling kind of emotional situation.
Yes.
And go ahead.
I wanted to just add that cultural component as well, because sometimes there's cultural ways of communication which are extremely hot or passionate, or loud. I'm thinking about Mediterranean cultural differences, or even European cultural differences, or African continent cultural differences, or South American cultural differences, where there might be a more heated response in conveying an emotion to another. Like sometimes you can go into a room and everybody's shouting, so your perception is, wow, this is a really loud, like heated conversation, but that's just the way they're talking.
Exactly.
It's not, they're talking about the weather, but it's very loud, it's very, it's very passionate about the weather. So that's something also to keep in mind in the cultural differences between the people.
Yeah. So I sort of a kind of template or message that can be conveyed, I think anyway, is starting with I care for you, I know you care for me, you care for me, and so on. Starting with maybe a basis of understanding that we both care for each other, and so however I'm trying to communicate to you, it's coming from a place of heart or care. And so if I by mistake say something that might seem to be off-putting, it's not intentional. But understand, we're not combatants here. We are actually on the same side, trying to sort of just understand something that sort of we're just trying to be clear on understanding something that's being discussed.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip, as if there has been communication problems or miscommunication, to start your conversation as, I want the best in this. I'm on your side. We're together in this, and coming from that united, we're a team,
Yes,
standpoint. I think that is a really good place to start.